It is Monday, the 13th of January 2025, and the European markets are about to open. I have a few planned entries that I'm going to take today, and actually for the day I have more planned entries than I usually have, or than I've had on a normal day last week. So I will be adjusting my sizing a bit. So I will take slightly lower maximum amount risked per trade. I am still in the gold swing that I left open since last week, and I'm hoping this will eventually sell. And I also have gotten triggered in the swing long on the DAX, so I'm hoping for another bounce and perhaps a new all-time high. We'll let that run and we'll see how it does. So the first entry for today will be in the UK 100. If the first bar is a positive, if the first bar is a negative, I will be buying right below the low of that bar. If the first bar is a positive, normally that is a sell below it, but it hasn't been working great lately, so I might ignore that. So I'll be focusing on the first 5 minutes on the UK 100 if it's a negative bar, and I will be also looking at the second 5-minute bar in the DAX as per usual this morning. And that's pretty much all for this morning. I will have more entries for the US session, but of course there's also possible add-ons to my trades or just price action opportunities that I see. It does look like we're probably going to get a negative bar to open things here, but we'll see. Gold is still very undecided, but we have made a top here on Friday, and I'm just hoping that even if we revisit it, we'll just reject, go down. But we'll see. I'll pause you for now and come back when we're closer to an entry. So we're going to complete the first 5-minute bar here, and I'm just going to place a buy order here at the very low of this bar, putting it just a bit above to account for the spread as well. It's like an 18-point first 5-minute bar. So the strategy is simply buying below it and using an 18-point stop loss and targeting. I'll probably be targeting this high around here. Actually, that might be a bit optimistic. I might be targeting just the body of this candle, but let's see. So the bar has completed. We're just hoping now that price comes and just basically double bottoms it. That is the ideal entry. The DAX does seem to have reacted here. There's clear demand here below, so hopefully we can move the price back up. It would be unfortunate if we just rally here without revisiting the low, but that's going to happen sometimes. I've also missed this entry last Friday, but then price did come right to the bottom and then immediately spiked up, and I just didn't get a chance. I basically hesitated for a second, wanted to see if it would go below, and I missed the entry. But hopefully we do get a chance here. And for the DAX, I'm going to wait for the completion of the second 5-minute candle. So I'll bring you back then, or if we get triggered in the UK 100. The second 5-minute bar has completed, so I've placed a sell order below the bar and a buy order above it. Obviously this is a swing trade, so I'm just letting it run, and this is a normal day trade, so I don't have an issue having two trades in opposite directions, since one is a swing. We're getting close here to a trigger. Hopefully we get it in the UK 100. This is a very good trigger that works a lot of the times. So hopefully, don't do it. Don't do it. We did get triggered short here. And as I've said, I'm taking smaller I'm going for smaller risk per trade today, because I think I'm gonna take more entries. And this isn't the reaction we want to see for our trade. But if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. It's fine. I would target probably this low. Very close to getting a fill here. Okay, nice. So we did get a fill here. And now we're just going to put 18 points and stop. That should be it. And for a target, let me just check here, because I do have a spreadsheet where I track these things. So generally, you're gonna get like 20 points, so a bit above a 1-to-1 R&R. But so yeah, we're essentially targeting this high here. Just gonna go a bit lower. Exactly, pretty much exactly 20 points. That's gonna be it. Now we wait and see. We are triggered short here, targeting 20,110, which means we are short the DAX and long the UK 100, which perhaps isn't the most comfortable position to be in, but a lot of the times they go against each other, so it isn't that big of a deal. And also I've had this particular trade go against me for like 14 to 15 points and then reverse in my favor quite a lot. So if we initially get some drawdown, it's not the end of the world at all with this trade. Okay, so the DAX is now going in our direction. Obviously we would have to break through this demand here. If we break and close below this, that would be a great sign. Let's just hope it's not another double bottom. Although at the same time, with the swing trade, we are kind of hedged, so either way. I haven't really thought about a target for the swing, because I am essentially thinking of a new all-time high. But obviously, this retrace could, of course, continue, and we could hit the trend line again, and in that case I would be wrong, but Looking at how strong the DAX has been, this could easily be all of the retrace, and then we just continue on another leg up. I would not be surprised at all. So let's just see it for a second here. This would be the double top on the swing. Let's just leave it like that for the moment. Okay, I'll pause you and bring you back. Very close to getting TP'd here on the DAX. What was that? How did I not get filled on the TP there? Wow, that was naughty. Okay. I was almost gonna close it manually because I just did not like that at all. So, nice TP to start the day. Now, obviously I would like a bounce here. Sorry, I was just looking at something. I would now like a bounce, and generally I just want this area to hold now. Could probably bring my stop a bit up on this swing actually, to not lose as much if I'm wrong, because I do think that this area should hold if I'm right. I mean, this bar should pretty much hold. And when I say that this bar, I mean pretty much this fair value gap. So I think it's fine to move this a bit up. And the UK 100 is also going down, sadly. I was just checking for news today. There isn't really any big news event happening. It was a good place to post my TP. And this is why research is so important, because I did use my research to set that TP. So it was like 41 points. Yeah, 41 points. Which is basically bang on average of what I usually make on this move. Well, this is about the place where you would expect the UK 100 to start reversing if this trade is to work. You still have comfortable cushion, almost 10 points now. So no need to be too pessimistic yet. And the DAX does seem to have had a nice bounce here. Hopefully all indices start moving upwards now and they just drag each other. I think I won't have another entry for this morning unless we rally strongly now and I add to this trade in the UK 100. The second 15-minute bar in the DAX hasn't really been that great. I've taken it, I think, last week a few times, but I will not be taking it today. Also, it's a 60-point bar, so that's kind of out of the scope of what I want to take here. I will be taking, however, the second 15-minute bar of the US session for the DAX today, so look out for that. We'll also be taking the second 5-minute in the Dow in the US session and the second 15-minute. And then my usual fourth 15-minute bar in the SPX and seventh 15-minute bar in the NASDAQ. So in case you watch this video before the US session, you'll know. Okay, I'll pause you again and just observe these trades and bring you back when something happens. So as expected, the UK 100 has completely reversed here. It once again went against us about 13 points. So not as much as last time. Last time we got a lot closer to getting stopped out. Now the question is, do we add here? And I think I kind of missed the entry point would have been here. Now we're retracing to it. I want to add. I'm getting ready to add. I'll also raise the stop loss now, because if we get back here, then there's no reason to lose some extra. There are some sellers stepping in here. I'm dropping to the 1 minute time frame. I want to see a reaction below this bar here. Okay, so I'm adding here, and I've added a little bit smaller. And I've raised both of my stops. I can let this run a bit more, because if this has strength, this can definitely go higher. Obviously this is risky, because now I can also lose more, but I've raised the stops to compensate for that. And I do think that a lot of the times we just won't revisit these lows at all now. And this bar, essentially, this bullish 5-minute bar will just hold. But we'll see. Obviously there is going to be some selling pressure around here. Gold really does not want to sell. Where's my stop here? Yeah, I'm not going to touch it. Has to be said that the UK 100 is right now the strongest of the indices. All of them are making new lows on the day. But like I said, if I'm right here, then this bar holds and we're okay. But we'll see. I'll pause you again. So after a small retrace, we are going in the right direction again. I've drawn a 5-minute trend line here to mark what I think should be support now. So you would expect now this to hold. Obviously it's just a 5-minute trend line, and I've said this before, it's not gospel like any other trend line, but it's still a nice guideline, I think. So again, there's some selling happening here, but I'm just hoping it won't really be that strong. All the other indices are moving even lower though, so sadly that's something that will affect the UK 100 a bit as well, but it does feel like it's the strongest of them all this morning, which is good for us. Hopefully we spike back up here. In total we are losing like just a bit over 0.5% on both these positions total if we get stopped out. And I think that's fine. I think I've managed the trade well and the entry. I don't think it's smart to leave the entry, leave the stop where it was, because I do think that if we revisit here, we're gonna go lower. Of course, you could always get the double bottom and spike back up, but I guess that's just unlucky if it happens. So we have reacted at the trend line, which is nice to see. This also reinforces the trend line, makes it more relevant. But we just need follow through now, and that would mean invalidating this bar, which would also probably mean we could take profit on the original entry, and then we just let the add-on run. So with that in mind, I'm pausing you again, and let's hope that when we come back, we're closer to taking profit. Time for a little update. So I've actually done here something that I don't usually do, but when we essentially lost this trend line that I drew up, I realized that the chances of a double bottom here were quite high. So what that means is that I was likely to get stopped out of both, because my stops were pretty much here. So I decided to just put the stops a few points below this previous low, because I just thought about it and decided that it would bother me more if I would get stopped out of both here and then the market moved in my favor, than if it went all the way here and stopped me out. Even if I get stopped out and then we start rallying from here, I'm actually fine. But I think that the stop was actually just a bit too optimistic, and that there was always gonna be a decent chance once we lost this that we double bottomed at the very least here. So that's why I moved the stops. It's not something I usually do, and it's not something I like to do or do often. You will very rarely see me do this, but I think I was wrong to move both stops here, because it's quite an aggressive and tight stop loss. And once I saw this here, this bar here, I just moved the stops to here. Now if both of these hit, it's about a 0.7% loss on the account, but that's fine because there's just 2 trades here. So I just prefer to give it an extra chance here and just lose more when I'm wrong than to see myself get stopped out here. So Yeah, let's see. It looks like all the indices are starting to catch some bids finally. So maybe we get some movement in our direction finally. But we'll see. I'm not touching the stops any further. So this is it. I might close one of the trades if we just linger here for eternity now. But we'll see. I would, of course, prefer to close the add-on. But let's see what happens. I'll pause you and bring you back. Okay, we got stopped out, so it just wasn't meant to be for this entry today. A bit unlucky again when I add, it reverses. And when I don't, it just goes to my TP, which is fine. We'll get to a run where our add-ons work as well. You'll see. So it wasn't meant to be with this entry today, which will happen sometimes. I'm still in the swing trades, even though quite close to getting stopped out of the DAX. Market's a bit undecided today, especially in gold. We've just been ranging, and the indexes have been weak. Probably waiting for more data, even though today we don't really have news, but it is CPI week, I think, right? Let me just quickly check. PPI on Tuesday, and CPI on Wednesday, of course. So yeah, and retail sales on Thursday. Yeah, so not the best session today, but wasn't tragic either. We did get a good opening trade in the DAX. The UK 100 trade was a loss, however, and we also added to it. But as you can see, they are two 0.35% risk trades, so I mean that's well within our rules. And let's hope the US session will be better. Thanks for watching. As usual, this isn't financial advice, and these are just my ideas and my trades, and I'm posting these as a personal journal. So if you enjoy watching them and if you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe, and I will see you for the US session. Thank you.